Number one, what are the length, width, and height of prism A? What are the length, width, and height of prism B? So I'm looking at these composite figures with two combined rectangular prisms. There are lots of numbers. And I have to look very carefully at what numbers I need. So I split the shape into two, which has already been done for me. Get my tools up. Sorry about that. Into a left side and a right side. Sometimes you can do top and bottom. But for this one, we have a left A and a right B. And I need to find the length, the width, and the height of A. So I'm going to use green for A to help us out. The length is the front face length. And this is not labeled. The whole thing is 6, but I'm only looking from here to here. So I go up top. This is the same, not labeled. And this is the same. So here's our length for A. Our length is 4. So in your books, write down A equals 4 times our width. The width I can't see on this shape on the bottom. I always look at the base first, but the base is the bottom and the top is the same as the base. So I have my length and I have my width. My width is 3. And then my height is probably the easiest one to visualize here. I'm just getting the full, how tall this shape is, which is 12. So I have 12 feet is my height. So what are the length, width, and height of A? I have 4, 3, and 12. For B, I'm going to do the same thing. I have the length as this little piece right here, which is not labeled. So I look around to find other parts of the shape that are the same that could be labeled. This is the same, this is the same, and it is labeled 2. So my length is 2. My width is this dimension, which is labeled right here. I have my length and my width as my base, so that is 3. And my height on this shape, let me label this, sorry, is from here to here, which is not labeled, but it's labeled right here, which is 5. So all my numbers were here. I just had to look around to find them. Now that I know my length, my width, and my height of both shapes, in the video you saw that I find the volume of A, which is 144, because 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. Then I found the volume of B, which is 30, because 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. And then I add these two together for 174 feet cubed. Now, I did tell you at the beginning of the video that you could separate the shape into left and right and top and bottom. So number 2 says, what is another way you could separate the shape into two rectangular prisms? What are each prism's dimensions? So I'm going to use my eraser tool, and let's pretend like we now are going to split this shape into top and bottom. That is going to change my measurements. For the top, which is now A still, my top A is what? Look closely at this shape and tell me what you think the length, the width, and a height are of A. And I'm going to ask you to type those into a question that's going to pop up soon. Same thing for B. Length, width, and height of B. What are those 3 dimensions? Go ahead and try it on your own on the video. And then if you're correct, you can write them in your book. So for A, you should have 3 times 4 is my length and width times 7 is my height. And on the bottom, you should have 6. Go back and change my color. 6 is my length. 3 is my width. And now only 5 is my height. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight some things. In this bottom shape, I did not use 12 because that was the full length, and I did reverse 3 times 4 before I told you it was 4 times 3. It really does not matter. You just need the length, the width, and the height. You can move all of those numbers around because of the property, the commutative property of multiplication. But no matter what happens, I should at the end get the same answer. So let's double check that. Hopefully you got these equations right. If you did, go ahead and write them in your book. If you did it, that's okay. Write these in your book now. 3 times 4 times 7 is 84 because 3 times 4 is 12 and 12 times 7 is 84. 3 times 6 times 5, I'm going to do 5 times 6 first to get 30, and 30 times 3 is 90. Always pick easy ways to put it in your head for mental math. And so when I add these two amounts together, thankfully I get 174 again, just like I did up top. So oftentimes there are more than one way. Oh my goodness, 174 feet cubed. I don't know what I was thinking. And down here again, 174 feet cubed. Like I said, there's multiple ways to solve these problems. You can split them up and down, side to side. Just do what makes the most sense. And if you want to double check your work, you can always do it a second time like we just did and make sure you get the same answer. There are two more that I would like you to try. You're going to try them first in your book. Actually, you can try it right here in the Nearpod, and then you're going to watch a video to see how you did.